Here we go again, folks. Good evening and welcome to our the Wise Owl Wans podcast. Yes.com. Hey, listen, we've had a great week. We've been both very, very busy, haven't we, Mary?
Very busy.
And of course, the mad rush coming up to Christmas. But I'm not going to go into too much detail about that just at the moment because we have a very special guest with us tonight.
Yes.
And I am just delighted. Now, a lot of people, especially those who have been listening locally, Eastwall, Clontarf, North Strand, right up to Raheny, will know about this woman and her reputation. And her name is Pat Sullivan. Welcome, Pat.
Thank you very much. Lovely to be here with the two wise owls.
I like the owls bit. Just leave it out. Leave it out.
Now, Pat, I would introduce you, and I have known you for a couple of years now, and I've worked with you. I've had the pleasure of working with you. And it was a real pleasure, and I learned a great deal from you because Pat is a renowned director as well as a renowned stage manager, as a renowned actor. I mean, listen, her history in theatre, between myself and Mary, she has more experience.
But she's also, a local hero as well.
And she's a local hero.
Because she's brought a lot to the area that she's from.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Mary. Thank you for reminding me.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you.
She is what I would call an influencer. I know we get that name now. That's a very modern term that's used and bandied about with people who are influencing.
That's on phone and TikTok.
Yes.
TikTok did it all in the open.
But Pat has been an influencer from the day she could talk. So, Pat, I'm going to let you carry on talking now and tell us about yourself and your passions and your love and why you never stop working.
And one thing I'll tell you, Pat, don't get nervous on this because we've got great listeners. And they all know that me and her never shut the flip-flop up.
Absolutely.
So just carry on.
Please carry on, yes.
Well, of course, born and reared in Eastwall, my grandparents lived one door away from Peter Sheridan, 44 Seville Place and 42 Seville Place. So I started off as a kid in Eastwall, getting younger kids than me to dress up and do shows. We did Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I think I had to be 10 or 11. And I had them sitting on logs. You know, when your mother got the coal man came along and you got the logs from the lorry and that.
Yeah.
And the mothers and fathers came in with their logs and paid a brown threepenny bit was what we charged in. That money went to the crepe paper that we made for the hats for the kids. And the parents sat on the logs. And then when it was over, we'd have a big party for the kids, and they absolutely loved it. Yeah. And then, of course, I was told then when I was 14, get out, and that my father died when we were only kids. Yeah. So we had to go out and work. So I went down to Healy Tom's. No, I was in the Temple Press first, and then the Healy Tom's, and then I went to Lever Brothers, and that's where it all started.
Yeah, but obviously before that, you obviously had that theatrical thing inside you.
Well, I probably didn't recognise it.
To be able to put the shit at 10 years of age, you're not going to be able to recognise it. But you obviously had it because you were already starting to do little shows. And the money you were making was going back into it to build up the costumes.
I wish to God I remembered that in years to come. Yeah. But I think I just liked bossing people about. I think that's what it was, really. Tell that child, don't be looking in the mirror. But that's where we started. That's where I started. Then we did the Lever Brothers, and I remember they were doing a thing called Tops of the Town at the time, and they were going in for competition. This is in 1971.
Oh, wow, yeah.
This is when Tops of the Town wasn't even in the John Player Theatre. It was in Sally's Bridge over on the South Circle Road, the Christian Brothers. And that's where I started off, and they were doing their rehearsal in the canteen, and I walked in and I said, what's going on here? And somebody asked me to hold something. And of course, as I was holding it, I started to act a fool. Yeah. And of course, the director at the time was Nuala Moiselle. She was an RTE person. And the Max Desmond was the man that was directing it. And Vincent Smith, another actor, Dublin actor, he used to direct it. And whatever I did, they said, will you do that again? And I was hooked. That's how it all started.
Wow.
That's how it all started. And I was with them for years, 14 years. Wow. And we did shows. And then I went to Technicon with Noel McDonough, which is another very, very famous person that does directing. Went there as a guest, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And but when we were in Lever Brothers doing this, we made our own costumes. We starched our costumes. Even the weekends we would sit there making our own costumes, and it was just wonderful. It was you were only allowed the people who worked in the firm at the time.
Right.
No outsiders were allowed. Then it progressed, and you were allowed guests, and then you could bring so many other people in, and it got bigger, 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 and then it went because. No, you can't. The smoking was banned. You can't smoke. No advertising on the television. But the amount of people that
I
came,
remember watching it on the TV.
yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Every Whitsunday they had the final.
Yeah.
And we were very lucky as when we went to Technicon. Technicon
Sorry
with
for interrupting you, but Technicon, can you explain that for our listeners? Because I don't even know what
Technicon
that
was a
is.
place out in Swords. Now, obviously a tech place because I actually never asked what they did.
Right, yeah.
All I know is they brought me out. They bought the costume for me. I didn't have to sew this. They bought the tights and going, Jesus Christ, this is big business.
Yeah.
But we travelled everywhere. I'd made tons of friends. And then we were the first Dublin team to get to the All-Ireland final and be televised.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And be televised. Oh, God, I can't think of his name. That's very, very... Oh, God, now pat your memory, you see, is going. But anyway, and then we went to Irish Distillers the following year and we won that as well, televised. But
So have you copies of that? I mean,
I have. Oh my God!
You?
Yeah, my daughter used to show her kids, or show the kids that she'd be with. I'm going to show you me mammy on the teddy.
Ah, that's lovely.
And of course, but you see, when you were doing the stage, as you know, you were wearing stage makeup.
That's
you know,
right.
the panstick, the number 9, the number 5.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then, of course, when we were doing it for the television. At the time, Noel MacDonagh said, well, look, we've done it for stage, for the people, the audience, and he just allowed the stage makeup. But television makeup is totally different.
It is.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So if you
Well,
see...
it was.
Yes, and if you see the video of the show, I have blue eyeshadow, I have these red rouge cheeks and big red lips. But it's great to look back on.
Yeah,
Absolutely great.
I mean, television has changed now. I mean, you don't have to wear that much makeup now on.
But even on stage, like it's very little when you think of all the preparation that you did.
Nowadays.
But isn't it true what they used to say that you could years ago they used to use the an oil pan stick,
yes,
and you could smell
that's right, the grease paint, the grease paint.
I mean, when I started off, I used the pan stick for a makeup, and I mean, I think Dermot, who plays Grandad,
yes,
right?
Yeah,
he still uses pan
Does
stick.
he?
Oh yeah, he still goes into
the men like that. You see, the men like putting the makeup on.
He still gets it on, and has it rouged.
He's a lovely
and
man.
I mean, and he has pencils, and I say. Dermot, do you really think you need lines? I mean, I don't think you need them anymore. I think we're convinced that you are the age you should be, right? But anyway, so what year would that have been?
That was 1970, 79.
Yes.
80, 81. They were all the years that we did tops. And then I went into the Regency with On-Stage Productions for 6 years after Lee Dunn came out. And we did, honest to God, this is true as God, 6 nights a week for 10 weeks and 13 weeks in the spring and in the autumn. That was about 70 performances and 60 performances each time in the year.
Right.
And not one of us ever got sick. Wow. It was a wonderful time.
Did one of you ever get paid?
We, very little. Even if you did, you got paid... It was under £100, £100.
£100,
yes. Under £100, and of course you went into the bar after that. And,
of course you did. You spent it on the drink.
Spent it on the drink.
Of course you did.
Yes, but we had many a great laugh in there.
Did you know? You probably later on she came. Noel Banham was in it. Nicole Banham. She was in it, and Linda McCarthy. Now they could have been well after you left.
Was this the Tops?
Tops, yeah.
Yeah,
is that a different one?
No. There was Tops of the Town, as I said, that was all over Ireland. Then you had Cream of the County. You've all. These were the ones that would have been local.
Did June Rogers do Tops of the Town?
June Rogers did, but June would be younger than me, so she, and look at June, my God, isn't she wonderful?
Why has it all stopped? I mean, there's so much talent in this little country.
Oh my God, the
And I'll
talent.
tell you what keeps it going,
on
though,
the telly.
this woman here, this is, it has all stopped, and it's all gone a little bit too professional.
That's exactly what happened. I think when Lever Brothers were given something like a couple of hundred from the company.
Yes.
Right. Then we went to Technicon, and I'm going, good God, look what the money Technicon is going into.
Yes.
Then done stores. I remember at one stage there was an open check.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how the ordinary little Joe soap in a company could afford that? It was wonderful. Now the productions were wonderful, the people were wonderful in it, but it got too big.
Yeah.
Got too big, and then of course, as I say, John Player closed down. And then you couldn't advertise. The smoking ban came in and all that, so that went.
Yes.
But they really should have something now.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
I mean, you think back to going back to even over in the UK when we used to get the London Palladium.
Oh yeah.
And all the big stars that come to
Yes,
that.
yeah.
You'd look forward to that. I think it was a Sunday night it used to be
That's
on.
right. That's
And the
right.
other one was Old Time Music Hall. Do you
I
remember
loved
that?
that.
I loved
Man in
it.
the corner.
And all dressed up and,
yes.
Absolutely.
They should have
Danny
that.
LaRue. Was Danny LaRue one of the big stars on that?
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There was loads. And
I miss all that.
Oh yeah.
I miss that type of entertainment. It's kind of, it's light entertainment.
It's light entertainment,
with laughter in it.
yes. And what I loved about that is you could actually see the stage.
Yes.
Because now television is, it's the glam of television.
Yeah.
But give me the stage.
Yes,
give me the
any day.
Yeah. And all the work that goes on. And what I love about the stage is everybody, not just you, but it takes the backstage crew, it takes the lighting, it's the whole shebang to make you look good.
Absolutely. But I think what was wonderful about those days, and I mean, I know we're sounding like melancholic and we're, what's the word I'm looking for? It's all nostalgia.
Yeah.
But nostalgia sells. Even
Of course
today,
it does.
nostalgia sells.
Of course
And
it
I
does.
think what was lovely and what we're missing these days is that people entertained themselves. It was very interactive, wasn't
absolutely.
it? You weren't just the performer.
Yes.
Yeah.
The audience were part of your performance.
That's
And I think when I see that happening even today in the theatre, it just warms my heart. Because people go out and they go, oh my God, I really enjoyed
Yes.
that.
Because they felt they were part of you.
And I do want to say to them, you do know you did most of the entertaining yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I think that's what's missing from today.
Well, that's where the beauty of panto comes in. Panto is another one of my passions.
Yeah.
I've done panto for years with Raheny. We did great pantomimes in Raheny.
Yes.
We did in the Axis. We did in Colester. And it was just that interaction with the audience and seeing little kids terrified, but not terrified in the way that they want to leave.
Yeah.
They're shaking, they're hiding them under the mammy's coat because the baddie is there. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, when the baddie is killed, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
It goes back to all of us, whether you're this generation or many generations ago. Everybody wants good to win.
Of course they do.
Yes. Especially in a panto. Like I'm doing panto at the moment.
Yeah, love it.
I'm playing the Fairy Godmother. And the woman that's
How did you get that part, Mary, at Fairy Godmother?
I just
I would have thought you'd be the Wicked Witch.
Listen, I want to be the Wicked Witch.
I know. Anita O'Brien is doing that, yes.
Anita
Wonderful
O'Brien is
girl.
doing it. She's
Lovely
playing the
girl.
Wicked
She's
Witch.
good.
Anita O'Brien.
Anita. She's local.
Yeah.
Anita O'Brien.
Anita
O'Brien, because I'm going to say, Jesus, would you ever tell him I was asked?
No, but Anita O'Brien, I have to say, she said this is her first time to do
This is her first time to do a baddie.
And she was so nervous about it, and yet she comes out in the rehearsals.
Oh, the baddie is the best
voice,
part, yeah.
Her voice, the way she does it.
Yep.
She's a little star in her own right.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She's
and
brilliant.
I'm very lucky to be working with them. And again, what you were
Courtney.
saying about, Michael.
The best. Michael is the best.
You know, I've given him a few clappers every so often. He gives them back just as quick. But they are a great bunch of people I'm working with.
Yeah.
But doing the panto, you're talking about, the audience.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I am the fairy, right? So I'm in this particular one. I'm introducing the baddie.
Okay.
And she comes out, and I say her, and then she comes out, and then when she's gone, I go, she's worse than Simon Cowell. And then I give a whole spiel about how I'm going to save the day.
Of
Yes.
course.
I can imagine the kids' faces because
Yeah.
they've seen the baddie now.
Yes.
And they're
yeah.
going, boo!
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
of course.
And
that's
then I
right.
come back and I'm
Yeah.
the one
Yeah.
that's going to save the day. And I think it's the most beautiful feeling to see the mothers
Yep.
sitting there,
Yep.
mother and father sitting there watching the little
Yep.
kids
Yep.
getting really excited.
That's
That
right.
only lasts for a few minutes until the mother and father start getting really
That's right.
excited.
That's
yeah.
right.
So
That's
that's
right.
I think the beauty
The
of it.
wonderful magic about Panto is that for children, it's their first introduction
Absolutely.
to
this-
theatre.
yes, it is.
It's a
Absolutely.
live theatre.
Absolutely.
And I think, that's just amazing, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I love when they're screaming. I've done a few pantos when I was doing amateur dramatics.
Yep.
And as you say,
Yep.
Pat, it's the interaction between the kids.
It is.
Yes, it
And
is.
you know, you're kind of, you can see a couple of kids in the front row and you think, oh my God, they're going to have a screaming fit
That's
now in a
right.
minute.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
you think, but you can't pull back.
No,
So you're
no.
hoping that the
That's
person
right.
you're acting
Yeah,
opposite
yeah.
brings in a bit of softness,
Yes,
you know.
Yes,
and,
yeah. But we had a little kid once, and the lighting guy and the sounds guy right beside me, and this little kid was sitting there. We were doing Jack and the Beanstalk,
Yeah.
and the fee fi fo fum.
Yes.
And he was about 7 foot tall, but this little kid is the curdles in the hair is going, and he's oh no you won't, oh no you won't, and everything was going, and we were getting great enjoyment over with this
The little kid, yeah.
kid. Next of all, the lighting guy said to me, Frank said to me, "Oh, have a look." He was after piddling. The bloody
He
pool
was
of
that
piddle.
excited.
He was that excited, and he didn't even know he was after
God bless him.
piddling, and and everything was going. But that's the beauty of it. Or the children I had. Relations of mine came up from Kilkenny 2 years ago, and they were sitting in the front seat. They've never seen a pantomime before.
Okay.
Two very young kids. And you know the way you pass the little Holly and Finn, you know, and of course the dame says, "And welcome all the way from Kilkenny, Holly and Finn." Mammy, how did they know our names?
God.
How did they know we were coming? You know, can you imagine their little
Yeah.
minds? And,
Yeah.
you know, to break that illusion for them, you know, it's just, it's just...
That is the thing I like about Panto, that you can break that fourth wall.
Oh, you can. Oh,
And
yeah.
you can interact with the
That's
Well,
audience.
that's
It's
the
brilliant.
whole thing
Yeah.
about
Yes,
interacting
yeah.
with an audience is
Yes.
that you do break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a huge, you know, I think we don't break the fourth wall often enough myself
Yes,
in some
yeah,
shows,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Some shows it's really, really appropriate that you go, you know, you step in and out, and that's that lovely magic of it.
Yeah.
And the audience will allow that.
That's,
course
that's
they
They
right.
will
Yes,
embrace
yeah,
you,
yeah.
and then they put you back on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
They go,
Yes.
"No, we've done our
Yeah, we've
bit
done
now.
this, that's
We
it.
need,
Go
we
in.
need you
entertain
to
us."
entertain
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's great.
So moving on from the
No,
panto.
okay, what
then-
else? I went with a play to Abu Dhabi. We performed in Abu Dhabi.
Wow.
In Frankfurt. I did radio with the PJ O'Connor Awards, and we won it a few years ago with the Whitehall Lunch Group. I've been like the traveller. I've been travelling all over
fantastic.
the place.
She never
Yes.
stops. And that's, I will get to your own personal stuff that you do for the community, but I'm just fascinated listening to your stories. So carry on.
Okay. And where else did we do? We did, of course, all over Ireland. I can safely say that I was on every big theatre in Ireland, mostly in an amateur capacity, all of
make
it in
any
an amateur
difference.
capacity. But to be able to say that, you know, it's when I think back on it, God, did we do that? Yes, we did. And as I say, in the Regency Hotel, when it was the Regency, for 6 years after Lee Dunn left. And we had an absolute, my God, the stories we could tell you in there. It was just wonderful. And then, of course, now I'm a little bit older now, and I'm in the Sean O'Casey Theatre.
Yes.
I'm also in the Viking. I'm also in Bewley's.
So you're still doing it now?
I'm only short. I've been in the Crib of Christmas. Will you stop?
Seriously, she does
I
not
do,
stop.
yeah.
Really does not stop. And the Sean O'Casey, how many shows do you put on your
Like
own shows?
two a year since 2009, since they opened. Yeah, we do
Wow,
two
that is
plays
just
a year.
fabulous.
2 plays a year. Now, not only do you do the 2 plays a year, you obviously have your reading of your plays. You select the play.
Yes.
But you put up the set, you paint the set, you sell the tickets.
Yes.
This is
do
all
all
on,
the bookings, yes.
I tell you, it's a one-man band, right? Literally, no, you are.
Yep, okay, yes.
Be honest
yes.
now, you are a one-man band, right? So that's just that. Now, alongside that, you also put on, raise a fundraising event as well.
Yes,
for Lourdes.
we had a wonderful fundraiser. We had a wonderful 2 of them in Sean O'Casey 2 years ago, and then only about 8 weeks ago, we had another wonderful one in Grange Woodbine. And we had a wonderful Vinnie Osborne doing the sound, and which was absolutely
Vinnie,
wonderful.
Vinnie,
Yes,
fantastic, yeah.
and
Fantastic.
Cathal Donoghue, he did the lights, and there are so many wonderful people out there that you meet all those years ago, and they're still around, and they still recognise you, and they still
Do favours.
Yeah, they still do favours because
Ordinary, decent people.
and you know something, you do unto people what you'd like them to do unto
Exactly.
you, and don't have a row with anybody because you'll meet them again, you know. So, and I'm very, very lucky in that sense, you know, because the fundraiser actually is for for Lourdes.
Right.
For Lourdes is, I met this lady again through theatre. She came in to do a reading for me, and she was all excited about doing the reading. She hadn't been on stage in 20 years, and I'd love to go back on stage. But anyway, she read, and she was very good. And she said, "When is the play?" I said, 6 weeks. Oh, sacred heart of Jesus. No, couldn't do that. But so she said, no. She said, I thought you weren't going on till about a year. I said, no, it's a 6-week turnaround. So she said to me, but I'm very good. I can't do it, but I'm very good at selling tickets for you.
Ah, God bless
So
her.
she came on board, and it turns out that she was the wife of this gentleman that was cured in Lourdes 34 years ago.
Right.
And they do a pilgrimage every single year in Lourdes since then. And she said to me, Pat, would you fancy coming to Lourdes? Now, I have to tell you, I'm never, and I amn't really a religious person, but Lourdes to me is what we're doing this sitting around this table, talking to people that you love, and that's what Lourdes is all about. But we bring people to Lourdes every year for the past 7 years. I've been going, and we put on the entertainment over there.
It's a place I'd love to see. I've never seen it.
Is Mary? We're going in June. There you go.
We're
Now,
going
Terry.
Mary Byrne and Eilish
Mary Byrne and Eilish and Marion.
Wouldn't that be nice to do a podcast from
we'll do a
Lourdes?
podcast
Do you know something, girls? I have to tell you, it is the most wonderful week. The 19th of June we go, but it's the most wonderful week of fun.
Yeah.
We sing in the choir. I actually conduct on the Basilica.
Wow.
I conduct a choir. I don't know what I'm doing, but I do. It looks good. It looks good, waving the fingers. It looks good, and people come up to me and say, "Oh God, your choir is lovely," and I say, "Thanks very much." But but it's since I've done that, and I've done a couple of very serious plays, which the wonderful Cathy Berry from Kilbarrack wrote, Charlie and Me.
Yeah.
All of those things, the people that I have met along the line, I'm meeting them. I'm like the Pied Piper of. They just say to me, "There's something you have. It must be 2 horns you have," because people just
gravitate
Well,
to
people
me.
will always gravitate towards people who are kind.
Obviously.
Who have a talent.
Mary,
You
I
have an
honestly
aura.
believe there's something.
You
There's
have an
something.
aura about you that attracts people. That they don't just, get to know you, but they want to get involved with you. They want to kind of, so what can I do?
This is what
kind
you were
of thing.
born to do, girl.
And it is what you were born to do.
And it's only in all these years later that I actually realise, I cannot believe I'm sitting here with 2 of the most loved L ones in Ireland. I'm sitting here talking to you 2 people.
Well, after hearing your story, I can't believe I'm sitting here talking to you.
Absolutely,
How much
Mary.
you have done in your life and what you have done in your life.
Yeah.
Take away the professional crap.
Yes.
You've done so much. At this point in time, you are true and utter professional.
Yes.
To be able to do what you do. And then to go from that and start collecting for Lourdes, bring people to Lourdes and entertain people in Lourdes. Look, you should be so proud of yourself, because I've only met you a few times and I'm proud of you as if you were my sister.
No, but she produces and directs these shows purely to raise money for
because we take sick people with us.
You haven't set yourself up as a charity, have you? But you should really. Because
well, you see, now listen to me. It's Terry Clark is the director of it. I'm the one that Oh, what would I say? Exactly. I bring people along with me simply for the fun, and they come back and they keep coming back, and then they bring their relations.
Yes.
And it gets bigger and bigger.
bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And we take the sick people, and we pay for the doctors. And
I was going to say, you're funding all of this.
Yes,
Pat.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is what I find incredible.
Yeah.
But I think by doing something like this, I don't know, that maybe because of doing something like this, I'm sitting here now. Because what goes around comes around.
Of course it does.
Good only follows good.
It does.
And there's so much beautiful people, so many beautiful people around that you just love to be in their company.
Yeah. Well, you're one of those people.
and
one of
them. Well, hopefully.
Well, you are.
Absolutely.
You are.
So
Look at what you've done for your life.
Pat, what do you want to be when you grow up?
What do I want to be? Well, you see, they say to me, Jesus, you never changed. But why would I? Why would
Correct.
I'm nurtured on the like you people. That's what I'm nurtured
and
on.
vice versa.
And I'm nurtured on, I love stage work. I adore the technical end of it. You know, the people, as I say, who create this, who get this. You build something up from nothing. As you know, you walk out on an empty stage.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden come a week or two, and those people are sitting in the audience and they're going, look at that. But they don't know how much work has gone into that.
I have no idea how much work has gone into it.
What I love is to sit in the audience and listen to the applause of the people on that stage. That, to me, there's no money in the world can give me that feeling of
that's the bug.
People. That's the bug. Yeah.
But you do the lighting and
sound. Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, for God's sake,
Mary, come on.
This is not just a local hero. This is a hero. A hero of theatre.
Do you need a good lighting person? Yeah, I've got one. Do you need a sound? Yeah, I've got one. Do you need a good actor? Oh, yeah, I've got one. In fact, she comes in one package.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
You're an all-rounder.
I'm all-rounder. I'm an all-rounder.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
not just in body as well, all-round.
Nothing wrong with your body. You're a fine woman, God bless you.
No, her body is a shrine.
Is it?
It is. But and even my two kids, my son used to be backstage, although he won't work with his mammy anymore. Because, Mum, don't, I'll do it when I'm ready. No, son, that doesn't work. You do it now, love. And my daughter's a beautiful dancer. Right. She dances, and she's with Sonia Dunn, a beautiful choreographer in Gotta Dance from Raheny. But, girls, I could go on and on and on. You tell me to stop.
But you see, that's from your love of what you do, it's gone into your children as well. Even though you're saying the son doesn't. Yeah. But I can still guarantee you that he would.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd probably end up being the big star of the bloody house.
No, he won't. No, I don't. You made no mere. Come on, you're overdoing that. No.
So he's the one you least expect.
But him and his pals all know what I do. Yeah. You say, so if I needed anything, I could call on them.
Oh, that's nice.
But I could call on anybody, and that's not being big-headed, because I love these people. That I have a gentleman that has been working with me for over 30 years. He's in his 80s. He's 80, actually. He'll kill me for saying in his 80s. He's 80. And he's my lighting guy over 35 years. Wow. The same lighting guy. Climbs up ladders. Fine. Yes, and he does.
When he's doing
and he does the painting, and he does all of that. And he gets the bus now, because he's not driving. Gets the bus in from Bettystown.
Yes.
Gets the bus in with his toolbox
to do this.
Yeah, to do.
And you see, the thing is, when you think of people who are, I wouldn't class myself as famous, but people know me.
Yes.
But you think of the bigger famous people, biggest famous people, and they get all the glory.
Yes.
And here we are talking about people just doing small things to make big things happen, and they don't get the mention.
No, they don't. And not only they're not doing small, they're doing big things.
Yeah.
And don't get the mention. Yeah. And what you do purely out of dedication. Purely out of the love for it. Now, we all do that. We all have that in common. Mary and I are fortunate in so much as we get paid for doing what we do.
Yes.
But I've always been doing it.
Yes.
And Mary's always been doing it. So there's been an entertainer in us all the time.
All the time, yeah.
But what you do just blows my mind, Pat, and I have nothing but admiration for you.
Thank you.
And I really do mean that. Yeah. And if people are out there, you have to support this woman's projects, because she does 2 shows in the Shauna Casey every year. She does a fundraising event also for Lourdes Well, it all goes to
Yes.
Lord.
And you never know, we might be there ourselves sometime.
You will see her in Bewley's, or she'll be doing backstage, or she'll be doing lighting and sound. You will see her in
We're
the
actually
Viking.
in Bewley's the whole of January with a beautiful, beautiful play called Madeira. It's
Yes.
the
Wow.
Secrets of Sisters with the beautiful Geraldine Plunkett,
Lovely.
Deirdre Monaghan, Brenda Brooks,
Yeah.
and Jamie Doyle.
Well, if people are interested, how will they get tickets for the likes of
It's
that?
advertised if they want
Yes.
to go. Some people don't know about Bewley's.
That's what I'm saying.
Bewley's-
That-
Bewley's
I
is
didn't-
Bewley's is
lunchtime.
going
Well, you see, I
years.
didn't know that
Lunchtime
either.
theatre.
Oh, yeah, lunchtime.
So that's why I'm saying if people are listening to the podcast,
Yes, go
and
in
they want to say,
Bewley's.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yep.
Oh, listen, I
Where-
love
where would you
walking
get
in.
it? Would it be a-
well,
Yes.
I've been lucky.
Is it
a
a
lot of the
website,
times
though?
I went, there is a website.
There is a website,
There's a lot
yeah,
of
for
time I've
Bewley's.
gone in and I just strolled in, especially lunchtime.
1 o'clock. It's 1 to 2.
1 o'clock, 1 to
Yep.
2. Pay your money, you sit down.
Have your coffee
and
watch a
listen to
play.
a show.
I've never
Get-
knew
Oh,
that.
Mary,
Absolutely.
it's
And
a
they do
wonderful
evenings
place
as
to be.
well, don't
They
they?
do on the Thursday, I think.
Is this up on Grafton Street?
This is in Grafton
Yeah.
Street, yes, yes. And then I'm with Peter Sheridan with Philo in the Gaiety in April, I think that is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's April.
Mary, have you seen Philo?
No.
Oh, the one,
Do yourself a
oh my
favour, go and
goodness,
see
what
Philo.
a
Brilliant.
wonder.
Where is it on?
It's
The
on at the
Gaiety.
Gaiety. It'll be on the
In the
Gaiety
Gaiety
for a
in
week
April.
in
Yes.
April, Peter Sheridan's
Yes.
play. And the one that
Peter Sheridan writes some brilliant.
Oh,
He does, yes.
absolutely.
Philo.
Oh, he's a
Philo
pet.
be my favourite now.
Yes, Nellie Conroy and Niamh McGrath are in that. Nellie is from Fair City. But it's just, again, wonderful people, wonderful, down-to-earth, ordinary people that have a talent.
Yes.
And, you know, as I say, to sit and watch audience faces and look at the reaction. And you know when you come out of a theatre and there's a buzz,
Yeah.
you'll
Yes.
always know that's a hit.
Yes.
That's a hit. You can feel
Absolutely,
that buzz,
absolutely, yeah.
you know, and that gives me the greatest satisfaction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, we know because when we're doing our own woman's show,
Absolutely.
people give you the buzz. I mean, it's just nothing like
There's
it.
That's
nothing
the
like
only
it.
thing
yeah.
that you know, because you're always nervous and you're stressed
yeah.
and you
Yeah.
go out there, and then when you get the buzz,
Yep.
when the energy is kind of exchanged,
Oh,
your energy
yeah,
with
that's
theirs
it,
is what's
that's it.
There
It's
is
incredible.
nothing like it.
Well, they do.
And
There's
you
a
just
song
go,
about
oh,
it
yeah.
there, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know,
And
there's
there's nothing like you
business
think,
like
show
this is the,
business.
yes,
And
this is the drug.
yes,
This
it
is the
is
drug.
the drug.
This is the addiction.
If you could
Yeah.
bottle it now and sell it, by
Absolutely,
God, girls,
yes,
it wouldn't really be worth a
absolutely.
fortune.
Yeah. We would.
Yeah.
We would.
Absolute fortune. Anyway,
Everything
Patricia-
about it is appealing.
Pat, go on.
Sorry,
Go
I just
on,
have to
Mary,
sing
go
that.
on.
Go on,
I don't know
Mary,
the
finish
Mary.
the song.
Everything the public will allow.
Yes, go on.
That is when you get this happy feeling when you are taking an extra bow. There's no business like show business. No business I know. Well,
I think on that note,
that wasn't the best of a song.
No,
but
that's not the
listen.
best. Next.
next, yes, we'll call you.
Don't
okay?
call us.
Well, thank you again, and I
Oh,
would
girls,
hope that
thank
maybe in the
you.
future you would join us again.
Yes.
For a nice little
Absolutely.
session.
But you'd have to
and,
shut me up, you see.
Not at all.
No, you've been
that's-
absolutely wonderful, and it's been lovely for us because you know we're kind of getting carried away with our own
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
because
so
we do talk for Ireland,
do
right?
you, absolutely. Absolutely. Sure, that's
you
what
know,
women, yeah.
to leave room for other people.
Okay.
You know? So listen, Pat, have a
Well,
wonderful.
listen, okay, but before we go, girls, don't
Yes.
forget Bewley's
Yes.
the whole month of January.
Yeah.
And Philo in April.
Yes.
And then the Shona Casey, which I haven't picked the play yet, but we were there in March.
Okay, and
Fantastic.
where do people get tickets if they're interested in tickets?
Well, when I put my poster up under PS Productions, which is Pat Sullivan
PS
Productions,
Productions. Yeah.
you will get my telephone number.
Yes,
That's
and we'll,
on it.
we'll pass
So
on.
you're- yeah.
We'll pass it on
Yeah.
for you.
Well,
yeah.
all you have to do is let us know, and we'll be doing the
Absolutely,
podcast,
girls.
and
And we'll
be
pass it on for you.
absolutely passing on.
And I
that
might
kind
get
of
to see
information.
Philo.
considering
Oh,
it.
you
I think
love
you'd
it.
That's in
really
April.
enjoy Philo.
That's
And
it. Yes, you
certainly,
love it, yeah.
we might even get to see. I don't
Come
know
up
when
to
you're
us
coming back.
in Bewley's and have the cup of take the break for an hour.
Yeah.
Come up, have the cup of coffee and
listen.
see this
Yeah,
beautiful.
we
It's a
might do
beautiful
that.
play.
We might
we'll
do
do
that, and then
that
take
one
some
day. We
photographs,
will.
and then we can show people in the next podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
There you
girls,
go.
it's been a pleasure talking
Pleasure
to
was
you.
all
Thanks
ours.
a million,
you,
darling.
so-
You're
Ladies and
sweetheart.
gentlemen, we're saying goodbye to one of Ireland's unsung heroes.
Yes.
But she is the best and the most beautifulest woman I've met in a long,
Oh,
long time.
God bless us.
So thank you, Pat.
You're
It's
very
been an
well.
absolute
I
pleasure.
And it was a pleasure. Pleasure's mine. Thank
I
you.
can only reiterate. Do you like that word?
Yes.
Ooh, put the teeth in now and say
what
it.
Mary said, and it's been an absolute pleasure and a joy having you in my life. And I hope we continue our friendship. And So I'm just going to say,
Oh, you forgot now. Listen, folks, forgot that.
Yes.
I think she's taking
here
over
we
the
go,
podcast
Dana.
now, folks. You know what I mean? Like, can't
No,
have this.
listen,
Nobody
your own
messes.
podcast.
Eilish was with us doing the first Sister Shed show.
And that's where I first met you.
Yes.
In the
Yes.
Civic in Tala.
Yeah, in the Civic in Tala.
Yes,
and
it was
that's
brilliant.
Wasn't
And
that
Mary-
brilliant? And Mary
gave
Bourne,
her
yes,
time,
she
and
did
June
indeed.
Rogers gave their time.
Yes, yeah, and it was
to
brilliant.
help support. And I see, this is what's lovely about
Yeah.
something like that's how I really got to know Pat.
Yes.
Because
through
bless
that,
her
yeah.
dear little heart, jumped in at the last minute to actually help direct.
Yes, yeah.
Which was a real save in my life because I've never directed before, and that was obvious to her.
Well, I just want to say that, if anyone out there is interested or feeling a bit down and doesn't know what to do, find the Sister Sheds. They are
find them.
absolutely
They are
fantastic.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And there
Yes.
has to be one in everyone's area
There is,
nearly.
there
is
is.
now,
I've
there
never
is now.
seen
Go
so
out.
many.
I mean,
Yes.
I walked in that night into the Civic,
Yeah.
and I didn't know what
And you
I
could
knew.
feel
I knew
it.
what the Sister Sheds were about.
Yes. Yeah.
But to see what you put on in such a short time,
Oh, I
and
did.
all the people first time on time on stage.
That's right.
It
That's
was
right.
incredible and so well put together,
Yeah.
so well directed, and so well poured out to the people. The people had a
They
great
had
time.
a ball, and you could feel it. You could feel
they
that
were
warmth with them.
buzzing
They were buzzing.
afterwards.
They
Yeah, they
absolutely
were, yeah.
buzzing.
But I was
And I
buzzing.
had the nervous breakdown, but they were buzzing.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it, and I actually enjoyed it because I watched a good bit of it from the side.
Did you?
Yes,
Yeah.
And I
yeah,
actually
yeah,
enjoyed it, and I was
yeah.
saying, "My God, this is brilliant!
They
Great
just-
idea."
But you see,
Loved it.
again, there's where please, if anybody knows anybody that has a theatre that we need this theatre for
Yes.
amateurs or like
We do.
there's
She used the space.
yes, exactly.
You know,
we
that
need
if it's empty, let's use
Use
it.
it,
Right?
use
Let's
it,
encourage-
yeah.
Let's get back to community-driven theatre.
yes,
projects,
absolutely,
in my opinion.
absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
Because
agree.
there's so much talent out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
As
yeah.
you were saying earlier on, Pat, the people you go to Lourdes with, the
Yep.
talent they
Yes,
have,
that-
just
yes.
in their conversation,
Yes.
the fun,
The fun.
the humour.
This
Yeah.
little
We could
country
go
of
on-
ours.
This
Yeah.
could go on and on.
This
and
little
on.
island of ours
It's
is
time-
full of
It's
talent.
time I said good night or
Yeah.
goodbye to our listeners for now. And
The
say
plug is
goodbye,
going to
Mary.
be pulled on
Goodbye,
us.
Mary.
So goodbye, Mary. Say goodbye, Pat.
Goodbye, girls. It's
Thank
been
you.
a pleasure.
Pleasure, Tina, all ours.